It was only opened in 2020, but quickly became one of the league's most recognizable venues. You're looking at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California.
Cameron Dicker to kick off.
Here to begin this one is Cameron Dicker. And off we go from SoFi. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. So the Broncos offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by the former first-rounder out of both Oregon and Auburn. It's Bo Nix.
And all those touchdowns he had last week, Kate, he traded every one of them in exchange for a victory. It's team over individual for him. So even though he himself is coming off the exact type of showing you want, that kind of efficiency usually wins you games, you're not happy about it. And he will be focusing on rectifying those things here.
Here's Josh Jacobs getting his first look on the ground. And that effort yields him about 3 yards there. Second down. Now we'll take a moment to check out his numbers on the ground from a week ago.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Last run got him 3. Here's 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, it's Nix. Has it to his back. Here's Josh Jacobs. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
Something out of nothing, Kate, that may as well be listed on his resume because he's so good at it. Caught that one near the line, and after that, it was all him. Turning a modest pass into far more than a modest gain.
On 1st and 10, here's Nix. Great coverage all the way to the sideline. They're on him to end that quick pass before he can get vertical.
He specializes in salvaging broken plays out of the backfield, but even he couldn't get anything out of that one, Kate. That defense, they were all over it.
Shotgun snap to Nix. Racing down the left side. Touchdown, Denver! The Broncos take a 6-0 lead right away. George Pickens the touchdown. Sly gets the extra point to go. And the Broncos will jump out to a 7-0 lead.
Chargers, nothing.
The kicking unit on now for the Broncos, and they're ready to send it away. He fields it from the 8. And the tackle's made as he gets it out to the 32. So now we'll get a look at the other offense as the Chargers take the field. They'll be led out by someone known for putting up numbers since he entered the league back in 2020, the Oregon product, Justin Herbert.
Herbert's one of these rare quarterbacks that when he is on, he makes this game look effortless and easy. Part of it's his throwing motion that's crisp and clean with great power. And it's also an athleticism. Well, he'll make you pay with his legs, too. Man, he is just a joy to watch.
A 6-yard pickup. It's up 2nd and 4.
Run picks up 6, so that means it's 2nd and 4. From the pistol, it's Herbert. Makes the grab in bounds left side. He's down inside the 40 before he's escorted out. Give him 24 yards on that one. And that's going to give the Chargers the first down. Shotgun give to Hampton. And they sent it straight ahead, but the front stops him after a gain of 3.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals a first down.
On the carry, this is Najee Harris. And they're going to be set up just outside that red zone. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that's going to be good for an LA first down.
You spring a big gain like that, Kate, on the interior. 9 times out of 10, that O-line decisively won their matchup with the big fellas up front. They got those pads down. They created leverage, and they opened up that running lane.
And keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10.
Set. Ready.
Hampton gets the handoff. We'll get about 6 on this run, and more importantly, Brock gets him into the red zone.
That result right there is why coaches all across all levels of football on defense talk about good, solid tackling, Kate. It's not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when you can bring a guy down, you're able to and keep them from piling on those yards.
Defender gets to him right around the line. It's going to be marked as no gain. So, Brock, that means third down coming up.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door to a bigger gap in the future.
Tackle made at the 10. First and goal coming up.
I love that call on third down because it just gives you options. The best third down teams are teams that do just that. Right? They give you options. You don't let the defense dictate to you. You look at what they're giving you, and you take advantage of them.
Play action now for Herbert. And he's got a touchdown, but there's a flag down. Might be defensive, though. I think this touchdown should stand.
Pass interference. Defense.
Okay, Brock, I think the official double and then triple check this with their coach, but yes, they are indeed choosing to decline the penalty and letting that touchdown stand.
Kate, if there is ever a moment that defies all explanation on the football field, that may be it.
Cameron Dicker to kick off for the Chargers.
We've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. Here's a return from the 7. He's brought down just inside the 25. The Denver offense taking the field for their second drive. And that last drive, no answer for what they were doing through the air, so expect some tighter coverage this time around. All right, Denver getting everybody set, so they've got first and 10. Jacobs gets it to start the drive. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play.
So close to a big loss of yards for those guys up front. 1 second sooner, and they got a tackle behind the line. But a stop to celebrate nonetheless.
First down run netted him nothing. Here is second and 10. To throw, here's Nix. Now setting up the screen for Jacobs. Fights his way through a tackle. And he pushes it up across the 30 before going out.
Well, this is the type of game we've come to expect from him as a runner, toting the ball, but he's just as adept at turning the screen into the same kind of yardage, too.
Now Nix on third down. And this time they're going to get to him before he can get that pass away as he goes down. On fourth down, Broncos going to call on Jeremy Crawshaw here to punt. And he'll try to hit this one well. Coming off 4 punts in that loss, and he boots his first of this game away. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down.
Take over first and 10 at their own 40-yard line.
To the line on first and 10. Chargers beneficiaries of some good field position. They'll start with a give to Harris. And this is across midfield. They're going to stop him at that 45-yard line. He picks up 15 on the play. And that's going to give the Chargers the first down.
A run like that, Kate, it just gives everybody a little bit more bounce offensively because you also know it can set the table for more.
One play in, Brock, and this drive is already into enemy territory.
Set.
On first down, they'll run. They're going to keep moving forward, Brock, down inside the opposing 30. Looks like we'll have a pause here. An injured Bronco out there and in some pretty obvious pain after that play. Coming to the line for another first and 10.
Set.
Running it with Hampton. Robbed by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run. That's a nice quick correction for this front, Brock. Give up the big play and then get a little back on the very next one.
Exactly the kind of response you want to see from your defense. You got to forget about the big play for now and stay focused on that next snap.
Has some space inside the 15. He goes the distance. Touchdown, LA! The Chargers break the tie here in the first. Dicker's extra point is up and good. And the Chargers take the lead here, 14-7 in the first.
Chargers 14, Broncos 7. Cameron
Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback.
The Broncos take over first.
So here comes the Bronco offense. Their last drive didn't make it very far before they had to punt it away, partner. So hopefully this one has some better legs to it. Good starting field position for the Broncos as they get ready for 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Nix. This is a heater going deep. That's complete inside the 35. And he is down to the 30-yard line. So a new set of downs. Here we go. 1st and 10.
First down, Broncos.
Nix holds on to it. And they aren't going to like this. They went to the zone read, and it winds up losing them 3 yards.
It's easy for me to say up here in the friendly confines of the booth, Kate, but that was not the right read. And you hate seeing him absorb yet another hit at the end of the play. You never want him taking unnecessary shots throughout this game.
Oh, not much time to adjust, but he catches it still off the tip.
That is so difficult to do with so much traffic. You're going to see a short pass gets tipped, and you really don't have much time other than to just react and make the catch. Exactly what he does.
Third and long for him here. He's got it. Complete to Pickett. He's got his guys into the red zone before someone can force him out.
It's a gain of 17.
And keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10. Handoff running right. Jacobs. He dodged the tackle. And he's out of bounds at the 6-yard line. 1st and goal coming up.
Every offense in this league is looking for a back who can be an athlete and a bruiser at the same time. You feel lucky if you got one. Someone who can, well, eat up space when the lanes are open and deliver a little punishment to stretch plays when that tackler tries to meet him in the hole.
Time for our 2nd quarter. Let's see if the Broncos can capitalize in the red zone. Nix from the gun. He will score. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos can tie it up in the 2nd after cutting into the lead. George Pickens the touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. Extra point is up and good from Slide. And the Broncos tie things up at 14. Now after tying this game up, they're all set to send her away. Return coming from the 6. Making some progress here. Makes it up to the 37 as he's tackled. The Chargers are being led back out on offense by Justin Herbert here. And he's been more than just his passing touchdowns this season. In fact, you can see it right here. He's leading all quarterbacks in rushing scores late in the campaign. So the Chargers start off with good field position as they get ready for 1st and 10.
Ready.
Herbert from the gun. Oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Pat Surtain has it. And the Broncos are going to have it after his 2nd interception of the season. Well, I know I don't need to tell you, partner, but if you're going to try to get aggressive, really push a throw downfield like that, you have to be smart about how you do it.
Yeah, that is spot on, Kate. If you've got to find that spot when you know the coverage won't be able to hold up, especially as you go 20, 30, 40 yards down the field. Hey, listen, these defenders in the league today, you throw a ball deep down the field like that, it turns into a 50-50 ball. More times than not, they can make a play and take it away just as they did.
And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete. So after that prior incompletion, it's 3rd down. To the air on 3rd and long. Knocked away and hits the ground incomplete. That brings up 4th down. Jeremy Crawshaw on to punt. And they could really use a good one here. And he calls for the fair catch, and he's got it at the 14-yard line.
The Chargers take over.
The Chargers and Omarion Hampton out there on offense once again. And he's played a major impact in their passing game, too. Look at this. We're near the end of the season, and he's leading all NFL backs in receiving yards. Has him on the quick hitter. And they take him down at the 24-yard line. Offense with an enviable spot to be in. Second and inches.
It's second and inches. At the
out of the gun. Here's Hampton. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31. That one gains 7. And that's going to be good for an LA first down.
And the Chargers.
New set of downs for him from the 31.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Herbert on first down. Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground. No luck finding his receiver that time.
Incomplete.
So that brings up second down.
It's second down and 10.
Set. Go.
And inside give to Hampton. Excellent play defensively as they get to him behind the line. That's going to bring up third down.
A loss of 1 brings up third down and 11.
Set.
They'll throw third and long. This is hauled in by Harris. And they're going to bring him down just a moment before he's able to break it across midfield. The big play nets him 17 yards. And that's going to give the Chargers the first down.
At the 47-yard line.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Not the way to begin a new set of downs, Brock, as they drop him behind the line.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
They go play action. Here's Herbert. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And for the second straight play, Brock, they're headed the wrong way, and that's going to bring up a tough third down.
9 on the play brings up third down.
Set.
Here he goes, third and long. Forced out to his right. He's going to run for it. He runs around, and he's got space. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43.
You know, Kate, this is almost unfair. He rips off such an impressive run, but it's still not good enough to move the chains. If he had picked up the first down there, it would have been something they play on his career highlight reel forever.
Trying with Hampton. And he'll get them enough for a first down.
Well, I know everybody on that offensive side of the ball appreciates that kind of effort. Got it by more than just a couple of inches. In fact, no need for a measurement on that as they move the chains.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Draw play here, Hampton. And he's going to have this one down to the 28. That's going to go as a gain of 13 yards. And that's going to be good for an LA first down.
A good draw play is like a great punt return. You just set the table and let your elite athlete do his job. Excellent job of selling the pass. The O-line got a body on a body. And these running backs at this level, they know how to make you pay defensively.
Now a give on the counter. And he only manages one. Couple of defenders there to bring him down.
It'll be this group's job watching the film to find all these plays. The ones that amount to really very little statistically and identify what was needed to just make them a little bigger, stretch them further. Afterthought plays now, they could be the big gains of next week.
And this one won't be caught, but we got a flag here. Looked like there may have been some early contact before that throw arrived. He got too aggressive to try and stop that play, and they tag him for pass interference. So now then, after the penalty, this is first and goal.
Set. 380. Cut.
Hampton takes it in. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Chargers take a second quarter lead. Dicker on now for the PAT. Right down the middle. It's good. And the Chargers break that tie and now lead by 7.
21. Broncos 14. Cameron Dicker to kick off for the Chargers.
Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. Returning it from the 4. And he's brought down inside the 20 on an uneventful effort.
Take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
All right, Working from the gun to start. 1st and 10. Throwing here, Nix. He finds Pickens left side. Yeah, he's going to be brought down right at the 35. Coming to the line for another 1st and 10.
1st down, Denver.
Shotgun give now to Jacobs. And this one's going the wrong way. Nice win for that defense as they send him backwards.
He was taken down behind
The presence of those tight ends works both ways, Brock. You know this. Gives them more blockers up front, but it also pulls the defense in to be ready for that run.
Yeah, you could put 7 blockers up there, even put 8, I don't know, 9. All the blockers in the world, but if they don't work in concert together to create a lane, doesn't matter.
Working across the middle, Brock, it's tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
The defender was waiting for that one to make a play on it, knocked it away, forcing 4th down.
That one really stings, Kate, because you want to convert there and not only keep this drive going for points, because now you're giving your opponent a chance to go pad that lead before halftime. That's a no-no.
And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. Same as a touchback here. Fair catch made at the 20. The Chargers and Omarion Hampton out there on offense once again. And I'd say the ROI on his early touches have made him a pretty good investment for first half work. He's gotten off to a great start here. Chargers getting set. 1st and 10. Here's Hampton, open the drive. Breaks a tackle, he's still going. And they'll take him down after he advances this up to about the 43. They get 22 out of that play. And that's going to give the Chargers a 1st down.
No frills, nothing fancy. That was just a good old offensive line dominating in the trenches. And that sprung them to get to the 2nd level and beyond.
So after plenty of scoring already, we have reached the 2-minute warning. Chargers currently on top here at SoFi. 1st and 10 from the 43. Working from the gun here, it's Herbert. Can't connect over the middle, it's incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver there. And now they face 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Hampton now up the middle. No gain on the play, and they still need 10 now on 3rd down.
When one defender failed, his buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Herbert. That one's good to McConkey. This is going to make it down to the 24-yard line. That one nabs him 33 yards and a new set of downs, too. Now they'll hit the line just outside the red zone following that big play.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Here's Herbert, 1st and 10. It's caught left side by Harris. And he'll go down here at the 16.
Hey, you like these results on 1st. That completion right there, right in the window where all options are now available to you on 2nd down. That playbook is wide open.
That one's complete. Omarion Hampton. That's going to be an 8-yard gain, it looks like, as it puts them in goal to go.
A gain of 9 yards.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Timeout called by the Chargers. They're first.
1st and goal.
They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Four downs to get this across. Here's 1st and goal. It's Herbert once more. On the move. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. LA uses a timeout here. It's 2nd. Gotta forget about 1st down in a hurry. They need a chunk of yards here on 2nd and goal. Shotgun snap to Herbert. Cut at the 10-yard line. And he's brought down inside the 10 at the 9. Now Now a timeout taken by the offense, and we're going to see if they try for 2 plays here or just try to field goal right now.
That's tremendous execution right there. Really using every bit of time they have left in a methodical drive, paying off with points. And remember, they'll get the ball to start the second half as well.
Cameron Dicker to kick off for the Chargers.
So we'll see if it's a kick return that ends on half or if we get a play from scrimmage as this one's away. That's going to be taken in at the 8. He's hauled down on what is the final play of our first half. So a 2-score game here at the break. Some work to be done as we get ready for the EA Sports Halftime Report with Scott Hansen. Scott?
All right, Kate, thanks very much. It is week 13. Things starting to get a little nervy in some circles. The home stretch starting to creep closer. Let's go to the highlights. Our tour around the NFL starts
the kicking unit on now for the Broncos, and they're ready to send it away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And he's going to reach that 34-yard line before he stops.
Over first and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Hey, you go into halftime with a double-digit lead, your number one objective, and they'll all say it in that locker room, it's 0-0 to begin the second half. So you want to come out firing the same way you did in that first half. And that kick returner, he took matters in his own hands.
He's got Hampton underneath. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
He's got Harris. And they've got to him just a step or two before he can reach the 40 as he's sent out.
A gain of 19
A 19-yard pickup, and that's going to move the chains.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
First and 10. Here's Hampton. And he's down to almost, nope, actually going to give him the 30 here. And this is now a 100-yard game for him after that last carry. Man, what a strong day he's had running it for this offense.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
First and 10 now from the 30. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. He's only able to power this forward for about 3 yards.
Well, I'll steal a line from one of my buddies, but I'm going to quote him. Mark Schler, 2-time Super Bowl winner, says if you want to run the ball, you got to keep running the ball. And that's a perfect example of it. Don't get tired. Don't get mad at gaining 4 yards. It's a run that can set up even more in the run game.
And they take him out of bounds, which means his offense setting up for first and goal.
It was such a privilege for me to watch Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Daryl Jackson out in Seattle, they showed how great a deep out is as a chain-moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route and then exploiting the leverage as that ball arrives on time downfield.
A pickup of 2 brings up second and goal at the Broncos' 2-yard line.
Ball at the 2 here for second and goal.
Set.
Harris, and he gets in, touchdown! The Chargers grow the lead coming out of halftime. Najee Harris, the touchdown. Dicker tacks on the extra point. And the Chargers take a 3-possession lead.
Cameron Dicker to kick off for the Chargers.
Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. His return starts at the 5. Oh, he lost it on the hit! And the fumble recovery is made. Before he can really break that return, they're on him to force the fumble and take away possession.
When you get that fumble inside the 20, it means one thing, Kate. Those guys were running with hair on fire. In fact, if you watch a lot of these special teams and kickoff units, you will see them running down the field on touchbacks. It's almost like they're sprinting to the finish line. They sprinted, and they took the ball away to boot.
At the 16-yard
Last
line.
run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on second down.
And 9.
Back to Hampton. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Give him 4 on that run. That's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
That's a gain of 4.
You make that call to just give yourself a fighting chance on 3rd down, Kate. Take at least a little bite of the big meal between them and the 1st down marker. And that should make this upcoming call a little less daunting.
Brought in. We got the football block, but not the first. That stopped just shy of the marker. 4th down.
Here we go. Here's one of those game situations that just puts a smile on my face because I could think from Pop Warner to the NFL. Everybody on the field thinking the same thing. You get one more shot as you end up just short on that 3rd down. Inspiring a bunch of confidence in himself right there, Kate. 2nd time they brought him out for a field goal, and 2nd time, well, he's knocked it right through. Trust is earned in a number of different ways on the field. That's the best way to gain it as a kicker.
And he just sends this out and over the end zone, so no threat of a return. They're going to spot the ball to the 35 to begin this drive. The Broncos running their offense out once again. They're running out of time to get this game into a more manageable spot, Brock. Look at a 3-score deficit, and we're in quarter number 3. Following that little 2-yard run, it's 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Nick's off the play action. That's too far in front, and it's not going to be caught.
That's a throw at this level. So much speed and length, you got to be real careful. Rarely do you find a clean window down the middle. It's going to be absolutely perfect, and it wasn't there.
On 3rd down, here's Nix. Brought in left side by Godwin. And just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Here comes the Broncos punting unit. Jeremy Crawshaw, the one who's going to send this away. And a fair catch made here at the 17. The Chargers are being led back out on offense by Justin Herbert here. And you can see with the stats there, such a weapon for this offense to utilize week in and week out. First call here coming from the shotgun.
Delta.
Now a run by Hampton. This drive is going to start out with a gain of 5 before they bring him down.
You know, Kate, that might be a little bit of a disappointing run to him. He wanted more. They always do. That's exactly what they were after offensively to get this drive moving.
It's Hampton on 2nd. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31. 8 yards on the gain, and the drive continues forward.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that 3rd down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in the pocket for a later occasion.
Going to the ground again on 1st. And they make the stop after giving him 6 yards. Good run on 1st. It's 2nd down.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost, and he busts those tackles.
Lucky that didn't end as an interception. And now they need to get 4 on 3rd down.
3rd down and 4.
21. Black 80. Set.
Now an inside handoff to Harris. No gain there, and that'll bring up 4th and a few. The Chargers lined up in punt formation. And he wasn't needed at all in the first half, partner. This is going to be his first punt. And he can't evade the coverage team for much. They stop him before he gets really anything on that return. The Broncos offense all set to go. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. Jacobs gets it to start the drive. Their dominance against his ground game rolls on, Brock. Add another stop to what's going to be some real nice film for them to watch.
How many times do you think in your lifetime, Kate, you've heard from a defensive coordinator, job number 1 is?
Stop them up.
They've been doing it.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. They'll air it out on 3rd. Hits the deck. No fear from them trying to go deep on 3rd down. You love that. Don't love the fact they couldn't connect. 4th down coming up. They're out now, ready to punt it. And he's going to do the honors for the 4th time today. And he collects the fair catch just inside the 35.
The Chargers take
Possession
over
switching
first
back
and
to the
10
LA offense as they
at
head
their
out.
33-yard line.
They are in great shape here as we wind down this third quarter. And they've got a 3-score lead. Another, that could put this just too far out of reach. First down now, ball at the 33.
Set. 380.
This is Hampton. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4.
It's one of those sneaky little runs, Kate, that gets you enough yards to create some doubt into that defensive coordinator. You can stick to the ground, you can throw beyond the sticks, and really create some indecision now defensively.
This is to Harris working the outside. And he's going to just get this across midfield before he's taken out of bounds. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs. The ball's on the 48. Here we go. First down.
48-yard line.
Lion. Go.
Shotgun give to Hampton. And he'll be met near the line to limit the game to a yard. Coming up to stop that play with Jade Barron. Need a better result than that last run. It's 2nd and 8.
At the 47-yard line.
They give to Harris from the gun. He's out in the clear. And they're going to be set up just outside that red zone. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
3 yards. And the Chargers, first down. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
3 quarters in the books from this one. It's the Chargers with the football and a comfortable lead as they try to finish off this win. Coming to the line, this is 1st and 10.
Set.
This is Hampton, right side. And he's not going to be happy picking himself back up after this. They're set backwards on first down.
At the 26-yard line.
So some immediate revenge for that last play, Brock. I don't know. What do you think? Is it going to take away the pain from giving up that big run the prior play?
Not necessarily, because it really does take a group failure to give up a big run like that in the NFL, but it also takes a whole lot of teamwork to knock him behind the sticks. Job well done there.
Well, this certainly has been a memorable contest for him. His coaches, man, they're going to take this kind of output every single game.
This goes a little beyond the expectations they have for him, maybe even for himself. What impresses me so much, Kate, the guy just doesn't tire. Getting stronger, literally, as this game's going on.
Third down goes to Hampton. And this defense is going to win this rep. They hold strong there in the middle, get him down right at the line. 4th down coming up. So on 4th down, on comes Cameron Dicker and the Chargers for a field goal try. And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. And they push their lead to 23.
Get another shot across the bow of a ship that's already sinking here, Kate. He could have made that field goal. Heck, he could have turned around and kicked it directly at his coach, because it feels like they've got this one in hand.
And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. Denver set to take the field on offense. Offense to the line. They're going to have trips right to start out. And this certainly isn't the rut they want to be in, Brock. All of their drives have been ended in punts as of late. No luck finding his receiver that time. So it's 2nd down coming up.
He was defended by Tuli Pulotu.
Shotgun snap to Nix. Pressure's there. The Chargers got it. And that sack may change the next play call as it sends them backwards ahead of 3rd down.
As much as we talk about offenses wanting to stay ahead of the chains, they want to stay on script. Well, the defense, they want to rip that script up. And a sack like that, creating 3rd and extra longs, it's exactly how you get it done.
3rd and long for Nix. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. And he's making the house call. Pick 6 for Los Angeles. Throwing at the depth where linebackers come to play in coverage, partner. And sure enough, one of them jumps it, takes it to the house.
Like you say that, you know what I think about? I think about the depth finder on my fishing boat. You're absolutely right. This is where these linebackers love to lurk. They could do some serious damage.
14.
Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick six. Fields this one at the 3. And he's brought down inside the 20 on an uneventful effort. Denver ready for another offensive possession. And their shot at the win probably already gone before that last interception. But after that pick six, Brock, whatever will they had to keep fighting, that might be gone now, too.
Yeah, maybe time to look down that bench and try to give some other guys some opportunities as well.
They're going to bring him down after his play rips off quite a chunk of yardage there, up to the 30. So a new set of downs. Here we go, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Jacobs. Now he continues to find no traction on the ground here, Brock, as they bring him down for no gain. Back to the line they come, 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 30-yard line.
Nix holds on to it. And he's not able to escape. His own read doesn't work. It's going to cost him a couple of yards, too.
This offense may want to try and disguise their run a little bit. I don't know if it's the O-lineman's stance. I don't know if it's a cadence. I don't know what it is, but after 2 straight plays going backwards, this defense is all over him.
3rd and long for him here. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. They haven't found it easy to score in this one, Brock, and physicality just like that, a big reason why.
And it usually is, Kate. I love defensive coordinators when they say, hey, it's not just what you see, it's what you hear. And you could hear the physicality of that knocking the ball loose.
Lofts it deep right side. Couple defenders there, and they're going to intercept it. And the Chargers are going to have it after his 2nd interception of the season.
Hey, that's just one of those situations. It is so difficult to be a quarterback in that spot. It's kind of like being a pitcher in a 3-0 count. You just oftentimes don't win, and you feel like you got to force the issue, and you force the issue, and interceptions follow.
Wide ready.
Out of the gun, here's Hampton. And he's all the way across midfield, down inside that 45-yard line. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
Well, more often than not, it's the passing game that's asked to go from 1st down to 1st down in just one play. Get that big play potential on the ground. Jeez, it just infuses your offense with confidence.
Well, even a great game is going to have its lesser moments. You can't get anything out of that carry. Stop for no gain.
A gain of a yard.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on 1st down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
Into traffic, complete. And he's going to be right up against that line that they needed. Make it 3rd and maybe a yard at most from the 34.
21. 80.
Now an inside give to Hampton. And this is going to make it down to the 24-yard line. They get an even 10 on that play.
Gain of 10 yards.
And that's going to be good for an LA 1st down.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Herbert going to tuck and run. And he may have just reached the edge of the red zone before going down. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6 at the Broncos' 20-yard line.
Set. 380. You're not. Catholic. Set.
On the counter, it's Hampton. No luck there. Ran that one right into traffic and went nowhere as a result. So it's going to be 3rd down.
No gain on the play. It's 3rd down and 6.
3rd and long. They're going to throw. Short pass brought in. And they take him out of bounds, which means his offense setting up for 1st and goal. This is the type of performance a former quarterback, just like yourself, Brock, can marvel at. He's carried a great performance through much of this game. Even as the defense adjusted, tried to slow him down, none of it mattered.
I like the way you say that right there, Kate, because these moments the game does slow down. It is so fast on the field for the normal person, but when a QB's in a rhythm like this, the game is slow, and he is.
And he falls through the defense for a touchdown. The Chargers throwing 6 more on the blowout. Dicker's extra point is up and good. And the Chargers grow their lead yet again.
51. Broncos 14. Cameron
Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. Has this at the 6. coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. So here comes the Bronco offense. And the turnovers, Brock, a big reason they played themselves out of this one. Hopefully they can keep it clean here, if nothing else.
Yeah, well, this drive isn't pertinent to this game maybe anymore, Kate. This drive is for next week. They just want something positive here to end the game and carry forward into the practices ahead.
And he manages 6 yards to begin this one. We've got 2nd and 4.
He was brought down by Kool-Aid.
First down run gets him 6. So now it is 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 33-yard line.
Nix from the gun. And they're all the way across midfield before he's brought down.
To number 81.
That chunk with a nice 21 yards. And it's going to be first down Denver. It's the 2-minute warning here in LA. Broncos just want to get out of here with how this one is gone. 1st and 10 now from the 46. On the handoff, here's Jacobs. All the way, touchdown Denver! The Broncos putting up points in a game decided. It's a Josh Jacobs touchdown. Sly gets the extra point to go. And the Broncos take 7 points off the deficit.
Broncos 21.
The kicking unit on now for the Broncos, and they're ready to send it away. Return coming from the 6. Making some progress here. And he showed some nice bursts on that run back, didn't he? Getting them all the way out to their own 40. The Chargers offense getting set to take over. And they should just be able to kneel out what time remains. There's 3 timeouts defensively still available, but using them is not going to alter this outcome. To the line on 1st and 10. Chargers beneficiaries of some good field position.
Set. Ready.
Running it with Hampton. And he stops quickly here. 2 yards on the play. We've got 2nd and 8.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on 2nd.
After the 3-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 7.
Set. Reload.
Again, it's Hampton. Now that's not what the offense started with. They stick him for a loss. It's going to be 3rd down.
So many of the D tackles in the league today, Kate, at some point in their background were edge rushers before they maybe outgrew that position. But they've got an explosiveness, a get-off, and it leads to stops like that.
Set.
Here's the long back on the handoff. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
The Chargers, first down. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
So the Chargers come away with a win in this one. And this winning streak continues.